Hi. Today, we wanted to share the importance of due diligence. You might be wondering what exactly is due diligence. You might also wonder who does it and why. You might ultimately wonder what's involved. Let's answer those questions, at least briefly. First, what is due diligence? Due diligence is a process of bringing to light all relevant business information. Particularly in the case of a business that's being sold, there's a host of information that needs to be evaluated by potential buyers. This process is something that should be fully embraced by the seller long before the buyer shows interest. So the second question we've raised is who does due diligence? We tell our clients that the seller should start this information gathering process well in advance of the buyer. Ultimately, the seller and their advisors conduct their own due diligence, while the buyer and their advisors also conduct due diligence separately. So the seller is allowed to be a first mover in this case. This is a process of self-discovery for the seller and preparation. For the buyer, this is a process of verification and planning. We will focus mostly on the perspective of the seller. Good due diligence has very tangible benefits for sellers. Oftentimes, this is very overlooked. It tends to improve the perceived value of the business. It also tends to frame the basis of discussion and negotiation, including what the value drivers are of the business. In this case, the seller's put in a position to talk about what's valuable about the business, in the business, how it runs. Due diligence smooths out the transaction process and reduces the likelihood of clawbacks. Clawbacks are bad. These are opportunities for the buyer to recoup some or all of the money that they've paid because the seller hid some significant aspect of the transaction that was found to be false or misleading. Good due diligence should be aimed at reducing negative surprises and highlighting the value of the business. This is done by surfacing all the pros and cons of the company, past and in its future. So good due diligence on the part of the seller communicates confidence in a variety of ways. It suggests that the seller is prepared, forthright with information, and in full command of a valuable business. Basically have to do it later on anyways. What I mean is facts and promises revealed in due diligence flow directly to the written contracts that will be signed to formalize the sale. The section most directly impacted is called the Representations and Warranties section, or Reps and Warranties. This area explicitly captures the seller's statements of the conditions of the business. Finally, let's understand what's involved in due diligence. The best due diligence is orderly and follows a checklist of information gathering. Some of the relevant information includes, of course, financial and accounting records, but also insurance records, employment contracts, and sales contracts. Also intellectual property records and any industry-specific strategies your firm may employ. So the time to start due diligence is right now. Our team helps managers ask the right questions both of themselves and of the management of their acquisition targets. So we've briefly covered some of these due diligence topics, but there's certainly a whole lot more to cover, and we do this on a regular basis with our clients. Please contact us for further questions. We would love to visit with you.